Number 35. You might mistakenly believe that the thoughts and feelings which you are experiencing in your conscious mind and body are naturally occurring, and that they have originated from within you. You do not realize that they are actually generated by influences outside of you. You do not understand the extent to which your mind is being manipulated. You follow along the thought pathways of your own manipulated mind, believing the illusion fed to you by another. The illusions could be from earlier inputs, outside sources, or from your own ideas that are offshoots of external or internal imaginative suggestions. So let's see here. We got, thought pathways explained, and in example M and also example N, I'm gonna go for both of them. Okay, so first, so you feel a lot of feelings and thoughts and sensations, and you feel that all these things are happening naturally. You're not aware of how your minds and thoughts and feelings can be manipulated by people outside yourself, or situations outside yourself, or by another or others, including your own self, your own body could be influencing you. Earlier thoughts of yourself, inputs from outside that were earlier in your childhood, or earlier in the day, or last week, whatever it is, memorable things. So you follow along the thought pathways of your own manipulated mind. Thought pathways. I'm going to explain what that thought pathways are. So we give an example M, thought pathway explained. So let's say you think of, here, let's go with this here. You think of a banana, right? What thought is banana associated with? You think of slipping, color yellow, shapes like the moon. You might think of a monkey or the jungle. You see how it's related? Monkey, jungle, like that. So when you think of banana, monkey, jungle, now the monkey is the thought pathway. It is one thought that leads to another. The banana links to the monkey, and monkey links to the idea of a jungle. So that this is a thought pathway. One thought leads to the other. Jungle. What do you think of jungle? Tarzan. You know. So now the banana thought has led to Tarzan. What do you think of Tarzan? Tarzan, elephants or yelling. You know. So a thought pathway is a thought that links two other thoughts together, or two ideas together. It's this mid-thought. Often these thoughts occur very fast, the connections. One thought quickly links to another very, very, very fast. Typically, you can think of three thoughts in like I'll give you an example. Done. Starting out, done. Three thoughts. It occurs extremely fast. So, beginning to there. So you might think of something, and then your mind makes the connections, and you follow along your own mind with those connected thoughts very, very fast, because your ability to think is very fast, and it goes on to the ending thought, and you might think, oh, I thought of this on my own. This happened naturally for some reason. You're oblivious. You're not aware. Often you're not aware of these intermediary thoughts, and so you think this, you think that, and because of these three intermediate connections, which you're not aware of, you think that you thought naturally of this ending thought, the result thought. So if the end thought is something sensual, you will think that, I just ended up felt this way because just from nature, not realizing that actually there were three thoughts before that connected to that sensational thought. Very good. Now, so we said the illusions could be from earlier inputs, right? So from earlier in the day, earlier in the week, earlier whenever, last month, a year ago, whenever. from outside sources. It could be television, advertising, songs, anything on the outside. From your own ideas that are offshoots of external sources. So let's go from, you may have inputs earlier that connect with so many ideas, and they're offshoots, ideas that stem from this original idea or input, and you may have thought of them yourself, and so these are offshoots, like branches of a tree. So there could be, or from your own ideas that are offshoots of external or internal imaginative suggestions. It could be coming from your imagination, or things that are suggestive. So let's go with all this suggestive stuff will be explained in later insights. I'm not going to go into it right now. Okay, so example N. Partial awareness and partial choices. All right, so this is given an example of how I'm going to give the example of speech, but it could be done visually by sound, by any means. I'm going to go with the speech using words for you to understand. It's sufficient enough for you to see what I'm talking about. So I'm going to give you a group of words, and I want you to think of, let them sink into you. Let your consciousness be immersed in them. And tell me what comes to your mind. Here are the words: desert, flower, tea, Mars, fish. At this point, you should be thinking about what the previous words give you an impression of. You could pause the video while you think. Again, I'm going to tell you the words: desert, flower, tea, Mars, fish. Okay, so if you have thought about it long enough, point your attention to the next group of words. Pinpoint any idea that comes to your head. Keep your eyes sharp. Okay, here are the words: vaccination, haystack, porcupine. Now, these are the words ended. Now, if you have thought about it long enough, about the second group of words, we're going to go on to explain. So the first example, the first group of words, was to give you an impression of the word water. Before even mentioning the words, I used the word sink. I said, let these words sink into you. And also I said, let your consciousness be immersed. Again, the idea of water being dunked into. Then I went to the words, which is desert, flower, tea, Mars, fish. They all relate to water. Second group of words, before even mentioning the words, I was guiding your consciousness by using the word pinpoint. Pinpoint any idea that comes to your head. Head is also another one, head. Keep your eyes sharp. Again, sharp. In the book I use an exclamation point, which is another thing relating to, which is an image relating to a needle. There you go. Vaccination, I use as a needle, haystack, needle in a haystack, porcupine. Okay, so you see that how by these words, how a group of words can be mentioned. 1, 2, 3, all relate to a certain idea. Because they relate to this idea, when each one is mentioned, your mind automatically makes the connections. And it's nudging you into that direction. It's guiding your consciousness towards there. You may think, oh, I thought of the needle by myself, or I thought of water by myself. Now, what happens for manipulation, people will use, people who are aware of this can casually insert certain words into a conversation because of their mentioning because of mentioning these words, your consciousness will be guided towards a certain subject. You will think that you thought of it all on your own, all on your own, and not realizing that your consciousness was being guided. This way of manipulation, that is. Now, so I give you an example, and again, remind you that it could be done visually, by sound, by behavior, in so many ways. So I don't use any of these techniques consciously in my book or even in person. I'm in favor of people being aware of this stuff so that they can guard against it and be a conscious, alive person free from manipulation.